Hey guys, today I'm going to be offering the most comprehensive video, at least to my knowledge, about Chris Redfield and his involvement in Resident Evil 7. So this will be using a timeline and assets from the Heavenly Island manga, Claire Redfield's continued communication with Chris, as well as Resident Evil Vendetta's plotline itself. Everybody else just keeps speculating about the model and voice and things, so I hope this is a refreshing video for everybody. Let's get right into it. So as I said guys, in this video, disregard the model. We're just going to look at Chris, what he's doing lately, and his possible motivations. So first, I'm going to take into account Heavenly Island. We don't know the timeline between Heavenly Island and Resident Evil 7, and remember we're going to take Vendetta into account, but Vendetta does occur before Resident Evil 7. So, starting off with Heavenly Island, for those of you who are unsure, it's basically just a manga about another camera crew, a boat, a bunch of models go to some Japanese island, I believe, and then an outbreak occurs. There's actually an Umbrella facility hidden in there, and it's actually been taken over after Umbrella's downfall by Alex, and after her downfall, it was continued on by director Miller, somebody that was killed later on during the story. However, Claire Redfield did actually request help from Chris, but he said he was busy and would send somebody else, which actually turned out to be Parker and a bunch of BSA agents. This shows that after Resident Evil 6, he definitely kept his ties with the BSAA, and he is probably busy with everything that's going on in Vendetta. That's where I would more than likely put this timeline at. So taking into the accounts of Vendetta, you can clearly see that Chris is still trying to save the world and that he is definitely associated with the BSAA. Resident Evil 7 takes place shortly after Vendetta, so this just does not make sense for it to be Chris, at least if Chris is still under his same mentality. We've already talked about the possibility of mind control and other things, however, I just don't believe that is the case with the appearance change. If you actually look at this image right here, you can see that the soldier that appears has an Umbrella Corps outfit to actual perfection. The asset is a direct copy over. Now taking this into consideration, it looks like Umbrella Corps and by proxy Shenya Corporation is the one that is trying to go around looking for Umbrella's experiments and capturing them, and they're using agents who are going around to get information and viral samples to get their bidding done. The helicopter at the end of Resident Evil 7 did display a different logo than we've seen for Umbrella Corps or Umbrella Corporation, and it did also have an Umbrella Corporation logo on it, but in Vendetta we actually know that Glenn has taken over Neo Umbrella and Tricell.
A man named Glenn Arias. He took over Neo Umbrella and Tricell's operations.
And we know Shenya Corporation and Glenn are both looking to be arms dealers in the bioweapon market. So maybe there is some kind of collaboration here between the two groups. That would be some interesting speculation to put forth. And maybe they're using operatives who claim to be Redfield to get Ethan, who is now the new E-Series holder. So if you look at this, Ethan is a very powerful individual now. If he is infected, he has mind-controlling abilities, or at least regeneration and strength. With his capability of taking down the Bakers, he would be an extremely dangerous enemy to approach, so it would be better to subdue him peacefully until they can get him to a lab. So my theory is it really is an operative from Shenya and Glenn's corporation maybe, who have basically tried to get Ethan into a lab through the most peaceful way possible, and as you can see, it perfectly fits an Umbrella Corps soldier. So going on to the last piece of evidence as to why I don't think it's Chris Redfield, and I will cover this theory from both angles guys to keep it fair. If you actually look at the concept art for Resident Evil 7, well, the art book itself, should I say, there is an Umbrella Corps logo. Now, if you think about it, could Chris really go up to the companies he's been working his entire life to destroy, keeping in mind that he's a renowned world figure, and just go up in a job interview and be like, hey guys, can I work for you mofos? And they're just like, hell yeah, give this guy a job. He totally should be on our side even though he's been ruining our world operations for many years. That just doesn't make much sense to me, guys, unless there's other alternate explanations for it. So That's why I don't think it's Chris personally, and I think those are very good reasons to show that it's not Chris, and it more than likely is a Shengya operative. But I will cover the other side of the mirror, if you would, the other side of the lawn, for fair speculation. So first off, Chris actually might be infiltrating Umbrella Corporation themselves because he wants to take them down from the inside. It is not unknown for Special Forces operations to actually infiltrate an enemy organization to gain intelligence, to basically know what the organization's up to, and Chris definitely seems like the man that could do this. The only thing that's a detriment to this idea is, why would Umbrella actually hire, or even Shengya or any arms marketing business hire Chris? He's literally the antithesis of BOW marketing. He would destroy them, and they know that. However, this could, and I know I said disregard the model changes at the start of the video, but that was for my first part. This could actually be Chris undergoing facial reconstruction, and who would put that past Chris? He sacrifices everything for his job, and he may have gone under facial reconstruction to actually infiltrate them. Now people say, well, the voice actor changed, and the voice actor for Chris in the previous games is not saying anything on Twitter or anything, and that's really blah 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 blah. But I would say back to that, watch the Japanese version of the game. He actually has the same voice actor with the same tone, so that could imply it definitely is Chris. Like I said, I'll cover this from both sides fairly. The biggest counter argument people would have to this, however, is if he is infiltrating the organization, why would he actually reveal his name to Ethan? That doesn't really make much sense at all, to be honest. However, I would say this, if you want to take it as far as possible, it is a likelihood or a possibility that the squad that Chris was with was also BSA soldiers that have been ordered to infiltrate Shengya or Umbrella Corps to a high degree. There is a lot of corporations here at ACT, and they are all fighting over the Evelyn virus, and it's quite likely, if not a good possibility, that the BSAA would be trying to take them down in multiple different ways, and this could be one of them. However, looking at the fact that it seems like Umbrella Corps is canon, these soldiers resemble Umbrella Corps soldiers, and that in Umbrella Corps it seems like Wesker is actually still alive based on voice clips in that game where Wesker speaks, and all of the cloning technology at play, especially considering rapid age advancement, which came from a joint collaboration from the HCF, the Hive Capture Force, which was under Wesker's control. My ultimate conclusion is this is probably a Chris clone created by Wesker because Wesker saw how good of a soldier Chris was, and he's kind of going for that Metal Gear Solid Snake vibe where they're creating super soldier clones to fight for them. I honestly feel like that's the case, and this is why this character is Redfield, but at the same time, he isn't. He's an antithesis of Chris while still being Chris, a rapidly aged clone used for Wesker's purposes. If you have any speculation, comments, agreements, disagreements, or anything, let me know in the comments below. I put a lot of effort into gathering all the sources for this, read all of the Heavenly Island manga, etc., so I would like to hear what you guys think. Thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, have a beautiful day, take it easy, and peace.